Welcome to Missing Persons Archives, a channel dedicated to sharing real stories of those who vanished without a trace. Here, we explore the facts, the timelines, the investigations, and the unanswered questions behind each disappearance. These are more than cases. They are people, and every story deserves to be told. Subscribe and join us as we shine a light on the missing. In this episode, we explore a chilling pattern: people who disappeared while they were on the phone. 3 cases, 3 mysterious vanishings, and in each one, the last known contact was a voice on the other end of the line. These are the stories of Angela Hammond, Brandon Lawson, and Joanne Pederson. In our first case, we will discuss Angela Marie Hammond. It was April 4th, 1991, just before midnight in Clinton, Missouri. 20-year-old Angela Hammond was using a phone booth in a parking lot outside the Food Barn store at Jefferson and 2nd Street. She was calling her fiancé, Rob Schaefer, to tell him she was too tired to meet up that night. She just wanted to go home, take a bath, and relax. But what started as a casual phone call quickly turned into a real-time nightmare. While talking to Rob, Angela mentioned something strange. A pickup truck was circling the lot, slowly and repeatedly. Then it stopped. The driver, described as filthy, bearded, and wearing overalls and a cap, got out and started looking around the ground, using a flashlight. Angela told Rob about the man and described both him and his truck in real time. And then Angela screamed. The line went dead. Rob, who was only a few blocks away, dropped the phone and rushed to the parking lot. As he neared the location, he passed a truck that matched Angela's description, and in that moment, he swears he heard her scream his name. He turned and gave chase. Rob followed the truck for about a mile down 2nd Street and Culvert Drive. But then, his transmission blew, and his car stalled. He sat there, helpless, watching the truck and his pregnant fiancé disappear into the night. Angela was 4 months pregnant. She was never seen or heard from again. Rob described the vehicle in detail. A late 1960s or early 70s green Ford F-150, possibly with a white top, a decoration on the rear window, and front fender damage. Witnesses confirmed seeing the truck and a man matching Rob's description near the booth around the time Angela vanished. Despite an investigation and composite sketches, the man was never identified. Angela's fiancé was ruled out as a suspect after a polygraph test. Angela was a student at Central Missouri State University and worked at a local bank. She was 4 feet 11 inches to 5 feet tall and weighed between 120 to 140 pounds. She had a scar on her upper lip, had brown hair, brown eyes, and wore contacts. She would have turned 53 in 2024. If you have any information, contact the Clinton Police Department at 660-885-5561. In our second case, we will discuss the disappearance of Brandon Lawson. Brandon Mason Lawson was 26 years old when he vanished on August 8, 2013, near Bronte, Texas. After an argument with his longtime partner, Ladessa, Brandon left their home in San Angelo to cool off. He told his father he'd be coming to stay the night, even though it was a 3-hour drive. Brandon left in his silver Ford F-150 at 11:54 p.m. Not long after, he ran out of gas on Route 277. He called his brother Kyle, who lived just a mile away, asking for help. He also said something disturbing. He was being chased by 3 men, described as Mexicans in the neighborhood. Kyle was confused. Brandon had a past with drug use, though he'd reportedly been clean for 6 months. Kyle even asked him if he was high. Brandon insisted he wasn't. Kyle and his girlfriend headed out to bring Brandon gas. At 12:30 a.m., Brandon made the first of many desperate calls, and at 12:51, he called 911. Here's one interpretation of that 911 call. Choppy, unclear, but chilling nonetheless. Brandon: "Yes, I'm in the middle of a field. There's one car here, and guys chasing me into the woods. Please hurry." Operator: "Okay, now run that by me." Brandon: "I tried talking to him. I got shot." Operator: "Do you need an ambulance?" Brandon: "Yeah, no, I need the cops." Faint noises, then a whisper: "Help me." There were at least a dozen more calls between Brandon, Kyle, Kyle's girlfriend Audrey, and others, many of which dropped due to spotty reception. In his final call at 12:52 a.m., Brandon told Audrey, "I'm bleeding." And then, silence. Brandon was never seen alive again. Authorities initially believed he was hiding due to an old warrant, but many don't buy that theory. After all, he called 911 himself and asked for help. His last words were not those of a man running from the law. They were from someone in danger. For years, extensive searches, including cadaver dogs, helicopters, and volunteers, turned up nothing. The land, populated by wild hogs and rattlesnakes, held its secrets tightly. No trace of Brandon had been found. That changed nearly 9 years after his disappearance, in February 2022, when human remains were discovered near Bronte, the town where his truck had run out of gas. DNA testing later confirmed they belonged to Brandon Lawson. The area where his remains were found, though remote, wasn't far from where his vehicle had been abandoned that August night. While the exact details of what happened remain unclear, the mystery is no longer one of absence. We may never know what led up to those final, frantic moments in Brandon Lawson's life. In our third case, we discuss the disappearance of Joanne Marie Peterson. Joanne Pederson was just 10 years old when she vanished on February 19, 1983, from Fraser Valley, British Columbia. That evening, Joanne had a disagreement with her sister. Upset, she walked alone to a local corner store, Penny Pincher's, near Vetter and Watson Roads. After speaking to the store clerk, she used the public payphone outside to call her parents. Witnesses say they saw a man inside the booth with her during the call. Joanne managed to reach her mother and asked to be picked up. Suddenly, a male voice grabbed the phone and told her mother, "If you're not here in half an hour, I'm calling the police." Her mother arrived within 20 minutes, but Joanne was gone. Despite years of investigation, Joanne's case went cold. Then, in 2008, 25 years after her disappearance, a letter was delivered to police, apparently written by the man who had last been with her. Another letter came in 2011, but authorities later said they were unsure if it was from the same person. Then, in a stunning announcement in 2023, the RCMP stated they had identified the man who was in the phone booth with Joanne that night, but they had ruled him out as a suspect. His name was never made public. This sudden development raised more questions than answers. Why did it take 40 years to identify the man? Why didn't he come forward earlier? Crime reporter John Daly summed it up perfectly. One can only wonder what they've told him and why. To this day, Joanne Pederson's fate remains unknown. Anyone with information is urged to contact Constable P. Neitz of the Chilliwack RCMP Serious Crimes Unit at 604-792-4611 or to call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-8477. Angela, Brandon, and Joanne. 3 lives. 3 final phone calls. Each one ended in silence. Each one left behind more questions than answers. If you have found this episode important, please like, share, and subscribe. Keeping these stories alive helps keep hope alive and reminds us that the missing are never forgotten. This is Missing Persons Archives. Stay safe, stay aware, and never forget the missing.